Hello and welcome to Kate's Corner, the Radiance podcast. My name is Kate, as you well know, and today I am firmly in my corner talking about all things radiance. So something that we're going to talk about today is definitely in line with our Radiance brand, something that we love, and that is Skinade. But before we go more into Skinade, let me introduce my guests. I couldn't be more delighted than to welcome you to meet the one, the only Dr. Roz. Hello, Roz. Thank you for joining us today.
You're very welcome, Kate. It is lovely to be here. It took the third podcast for you to get me here, but you've done it.
So she finally agreed. Thank you, Roz. So for those of you who don't know, Roz is our Dr. Roz. She is the owner of Radiance Aesthetic Clinic alongside her daughter, Katie Debenham, and she is our medical director. What Roz does not know about cutting-edge treatments is not worth knowing. We are also joined by Daniel. Thank you, Daniel, again for agreeing to be here. I'm super excited that you joined us. And Daniel works for Skinade. And again, we'll get more into Skinade. Daniel, what's your actual job title?
It's a business development manager, which means I wear any hat on any day that seems appropriate.
I think you would suit a hat.
Yeah.
And a party hat on Saturday night.
Absolutely, you bet.
I like to call him the sexy Harry Potter. He normally does actually wear glasses. Yeah, where are your glasses?
Well, we could...
I feel like when your dad shaves, you're not used to what someone looks like. Daniel makes science sexy. And yeah, when he explains things to me, I actually understand it because science isn't really my forte. And like Roz said, on Saturday night, we were all at the Aesthetic Awards in London. We all had a fantastic time. I think there is video footage actually of us at the awards drinking Skinade.
There definitely is footage.
There's a special prize for that, that's for sure.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, we're going to be talking about Skinade. So we're going to start off by talking about, of course, collagen. So let me ask Roz. Roz, what is collagen?
So in one word, collagen is a protein. In two words, collagen is a structural protein.
Okay.
Now, I'm just going to give you some figures because I quite like a little bit of figures, not too much science, but a little bit of figures to make you understand why collagen is so important. So 20% of your body is made up of protein, and a third of that protein is actually collagen. Now, all the sort of the buzzwords and everything going around is that collagen's in your skin, in your nails, and in your hair. But what we forget is it's in the rest of our body.
Okay.
So as much as you can think that, you're sorting out your skin, you are dealing with the whole of your body if you are getting enough collagen on board. So you've got collagen in all your vital organs. You've got them in your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your reproductive system. You've got them in your muscles, your tendons, your bones. So it is hugely important to have enough collagen in your body. And as I said, it's a structural protein. When we come to the skin, we know that if you've got enough collagen in your skin, it's lovely and plump. It's looking young. There aren't the wrinkles. It just looks healthy.
Yeah.
So collagen is amazing.
Because we hear it so much in our industry, of course, for the skin side of it, but that's really interesting as well, thinking about it being in the rest of your body, which also is really important.
So again, if you're looking after your face, you're also looking after the rest of your body.
So it's like a win-win situation.
It is a complete win-win. And if you don't want to win, then you're crazy, really. And also there's other things that they're showing nowadays, that the condition of your skin is a mirror of what's happening inside your body as well.
Yeah.
So it's a
well,
good
they
excuse
say that
to get
like with alcoholics and stuff. You can see that, of course.
Yeah.
You do. Your skin shows your lifestyle, doesn't it? Does mine show that I drank on Saturday?
No, Kate, my bank balance shows that you drank on Saturday.
Yeah, I can drink.
And I did actually put to the accountant, actually, it wasn't me drinking. I was drinking the wine from the table.
It's okay. I'll have another espresso martini and a porn star martini and a double vodka and Red Bull. Yeah, when I thought about how much I drank, oh God help me. Okay, so how does collagen production change with age?
Okay, so and just aside from that to start with, people think I'm not going to start looking after my skin till I'm in my 40s, 50s and everything, or certainly my generation did that. But you are starting to lose 1 to 2% of your collagen from about the age of 25.
Okay.
So you really need to take notice and not be like my generation and go, oh, I'm not going to do anything with my skin. I don't want to do that. And waiting until you're 50 and thinking, sugar, I wish that I had started younger. So, 1 to 2% per year from the age of about 25 down.
So really, if I had started drinking Skinade all those 20 years ago, I'd be laughing, wouldn't I?
Absolutely, yeah.
So anybody who's listening to this podcast and you're in your 20s, now is the time to start. But also if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it's not too late.
It's never too late.
Okay, that's good.
And
so you could start now.
And it's never too late to start doing things. I mean, we always laugh about me that I didn't do anything. And I will admit this. I didn't do anything with my skin except crucify it by going out in the sun without sun cream until I was 48. But
and look at you now. For those of you who are listening and aren't watching, as you know, you can listen to this or you can actually watch us in action. It is worth actually tuning in and watching it just so you can see the glow of Dr. Roz and her skin. You are looking amazing.
Thank you.
Can you tell by looking at people if they have low levels of collagen, that their collagen isn't good, they're not taking any collagen supplement?
I wouldn't say I could tell if they're not taking collagen supplement, but I can absolutely tell if they haven't got enough collagen in their skin or if they are losing collagen. That goes without saying. There's so many reasons that for your collagen to drop off in your skin.
Okay.
But you can definitely see it.
Where would you notice that most? Do you think?
Well, it's just generally all over the face, but everyone has got certain areas of their face where they show their aging. You know, some people it's around the eyes, a lot of people it's around the mouth, some people it's their neck, some people it's their hands. It just depends on that person.
Okay.
But there's a fantastic picture that I'm sure a lot of people will have seen. Well, two sets of pictures. One of a lorry driver from the States. And I show it to people and I don't tell them why I'm showing them to start with, but I say, have a look at this picture. And they go, oh gosh, that's a before one side of the face and after treatment on the other side of the face. Why have they done that? They go. I say, no, that's not it. That's not it. What's happened is that is the sun exposure. So the UVA damage, which disrupts your collagen on the side where he was driving. And the other side didn't get the sun exposure and everything. And you can see the difference in collagen. Huge difference.
It's amazing. Those who haven't seen the image and want to see the image, I'm sure it's probably on the Instagram somewhere, but let's put it on the Instagram with this. Yeah. So go on to the Radiance Aesthetic Clinic Instagram and we'll put it on there and see.
Yeah, and then the other one is those twins from I don't know how many years ago. Do you know the one I mean? Where there was one twin worked indoors in the house and the other one was out in the garden. They look like, you know, almost mother and daughter or certainly very older sister. Yeah. And you can see that the collagen loss in their skin. But yeah, you can see. Okay. And it's not just wrinkles. It's the whole glow of the skin.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, at the clinic, we say, we can do Botox, we can do fillers, but please trust us and we will get your skin improved and you will just love the results.
Yeah. And going back to last podcast that I did, that honestly we were talking about skincare and how that makes such a difference, and working with skincare, with the treatments, with Skinade, the results really are amazing. We're not talking to clients about Skinade and collagen just for the sake of it. It really does make a big difference. So how can you boost your collagen then? So I'm aging. I sadly have spent time in the sun. My collagen levels might not be as good as they can. What can I do, Dr. Roz? Tell me, please.
So before you boost your collagen, you want to stop losing your collagen.
Okay.
And again, it's very holistic, or how you want to think about it, about how you stop losing your collagen. One of the best things is to be happy, to laugh a lot, to have some fun. because
I
that
can
affects
do that bit.
we can all do that because that affects your whole psyche. Yes, we know about diet and eating things that are really good for you. That's big, big, big. Certainly alcohol isn't good for your skin and that will disrupt your collagen. Smoking, a real no-no, and then sun exposure, and using really good UV protection every single day of the year, because as I said, it comes through thick cloud, it comes through glass. You want to be wearing sun cream all the time. But boosting your collagen is doing treatments that are going to stimulate your body to make its own collagen. Okay. And again, things are moving away from putting stuff into your body and doing it artificially, whereas there's so much. I mean, the industry is phenomenal at doing research and bringing out these treatments that make you. It just goes, here's a little signal to you, to skin, right, repair yourself. But you've got to think, if you've not got the building blocks, the collagen in your body, from the diet, from supplements, from everything, you're not going to be able to, you couldn't build a house if you don't have bricks.
Yeah.
So there's so many ways that you can boost with loads of different treatments.
Thank you. That made it really, I completely understand. That was brilliant.
I like my little analogies.
I love all those analogies. They were fantastic. So you've answered this really. Why is it important for your clients to take collagen supplements? You've answered that really. I understand why it's important, but just to reiterate, because you need those building blocks.
And again, and something that is really big in the industry is stacking treatments, but also putting a treatment with products. So we all know about the skincare products.
Yeah.
Adding in the Skinade. When you do two things together, you get 1 + 1 = 3 or 4. So actually combining things. And again, it would be just like if you go and have a facial one day, but you don't do anything, you're not having the collagen in your supplements, and you're not using skincare, you're losing time at home. So this is stuff that, it's collagen in a bottle, it's skincare in a bottle, and it's not just skincare, as we've said, it's your whole body.
Yeah. Again, win-win. And I keep thinking, you said, who doesn't want to win? We all want to win. So what's your personal favourite way to add collagen into your daily routine? For those of you that aren't watching, Dr. Rogers held up our Skinade. We all have actually our Skinade bottles here. Should we all take a little sip?
Yeah.
Like we're wine tasting.
And it is wonderful. It is wonderful.
Describe the taste, guys. Like we're wine tasting. I love the taste of it, because to me it tastes like good skin.
Good skin. So it is. It's got notes of is it mangosteen?
Mangosteen.
Yeah. Well done. Yes.
It's fruity. It's not too sweet. How many calories has it got in it?
It's only 35.
35 calories.
I'm necking mine.
I like it out of the fridge. I mean, I like my wine really cold. I like my Skinade nice and cold.
Yeah.
It's my treat in the morning. It's my little buzz after my ginger and chili shots.
Which I've experienced those as well, and they are amazing. Dan, we need to try one of those.
I will, absolutely.
That gets you going in the morning. Forget, you're not doing caffeine at the moment, are you?
No.
So move over coffee and tea, which
absolutely.
I'm obsessed with. And you're not meant to have caffeine.
Yeah, just about 45 minutes to an hour either side. And it's only because caffeine limits your ability to absorb what's in the product. Yeah. So you just want to allow time for that to work its way through, and then you can have your coffee as normal.
And is that the same with all collagen? Not that I'm it's any other collagen product ever.
It's a general principle for anything really that you're going to take, particularly actually if it's got vitamin C. That's really the main thing.
So if I was taking my vitamin C tablets, would I then want to avoid caffeine?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah. Otherwise, it may not work at all.
Every day is a school day. Idiot. That's why they don't work.
But Kate, why don't you try and knock off the caffeine a bit?
Oh, I love it.
But then when you do have caffeine, you really feel the effects of it. You really do.
Yeah.
Because I can have caffeine even just before I go to bed because I'm so used to it, I think, and still sleep. I've always been that way. But I do know most people say you shouldn't have it past 2:00 and interrupt sleep. And yeah, I just love tea and coffee. But yeah, I should go decaf. All right, I will give it a go. Not today though. Maybe not this week. Next week. Next week. Start on Monday. That's my ex-husband used to say that be on my gravestone. I'll start on Monday. Okay, Daniel, moving on to you. Let's learn a little bit about Skinade. So what inspired the creation of Skinade, and what gap in the skincare market were you aiming to fill with Skinade?
Yeah, it started with the founders of the company, and that includes my boss, the CEO, Piers Raper, as well as his father, Richard Raper. And really, Piers, he tells this story about how when he was younger, his skin went from being very, very good to suddenly going through puberty and reacting a lot to things. And in particular, he noticed from a dietary point of view, if he had a lot of sugary things, that his skin would react and respond. And he was always very aware of what he put into himself affecting his skin. And so the initial concept wasn't even necessarily a Skinade in the form that it is now. It was more just something that could be taken to just generally improve skin, maybe edging a little bit into well-being to a degree. But the sort of business part of it developed because Piers' father, Richard, was actually the CEO in Mars, which is a huge corporation.
Yeah.
And it's not that business has anything to do with Skinade, but just the sort of experience of working there. And in particular, they ran and still run a very successful pet food division, which has a kind of professional channel, if you like, working with vets. And so there's a sort of a business model there that was already kind of proven. And also just in general, there was a lot coming out at that point. We can touch on it a little later, but there was some studies and things that were emerging around collagen then. Really, there was actually a long list of ingredients that were going to go into the product, but just through a process of kind of whittling it down, formulating it, trying it. It took about maybe 2 or 3 years to really settle on the final form. So actually March right now is our 12th anniversary of Skinade on the market.
Wow. So we were really soon after you started then. How long have we been going? It must be, I
think you're in the first year.
Yes.
Essentially, I think,
Yes.
We've
amazing. We've been with you since the beginning.
Yeah, no, it's been quite a journey. Yeah, you're right at the top of the list of people who've started.
I'm going off script a little bit, as per usual. What actually caught your eye first with Skinade? I don't remember.
Oh, I know exactly what it was. So it's always been the thing that I like, I want to be doing something every day. Like if I would have a personal trainer, I want to be doing some exercise on my own, and just knowing this thing of 1 + 1 equals quite often 3, and just thinking, well, I know that I feel so much better when I put good food into my body. And the more you eat, top tip for dieting, everyone, the more you put good food and good things into your body, the more it wants. So why not combine it? And again, I will always try things. Everyone knows I will not sell anything unless I've tried it and seen the results. And I can remember starting on it, and then I went, right, I'm going to come off it for 6 weeks. I could not wait to get back on it. I could see the difference. The only plus side of not being on it is that because it makes my hair grow so quickly, I have to have my roots done more often. Because it makes my hair grow.
And look how much I've been drinking since the last episode. Gosh. Look how much my hair.
Yeah.
And I always remember as well, when you first introduced into the clinic, I'd noticed that quite a few celebrities that I like, I'd seen them walking with the bottles, and I'm a bit of a sucker for an accessory.
Yeah.
In fact, I probably would be walking around with water in it, just like, because I think the bottle's really cool. And there were images of certain celebrities. I remember Millie McIntosh from Made in Chelsea. She had the Skinade bottle. So, of course, I was like, oh, my God, I must be photographed also on my own social media with the Skinade bottle. It is a really cool bottle. I do really love it. So Skinade promotes itself as a drinkable skincare product.
Yeah.
Can you explain, please, which I know you can, the science behind it? myths?
Absolutely, yeah. So Skinade has been deliberately formulated to be a product that you can drink straight away. There's no mixing involved. You don't have to kind of pour scoops of powder into a glass or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's to do with the delivery mechanism that's involved. So when you pour a bottle of Skinade out into a glass, for example, you'll see that there is no separation of layers. There's no particles in there. It's just one liquid.
Yeah.
So actually, whenever you see someone shaking a bottle of Skinade, you know they've got no idea what they've got, because it's like shaking a bottle of water. It's all fully in solution.
Which is great, because most things you do have to shake, and there's that horrible, in those drinks when you get the horrible sort of residue at the bottom. So that's amazing. I never thought about that, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's really one of the unique selling points of the product, and that plays a big part when it comes to absorption. So when you drink the product, it's already pre-formulated for immediate uptake, so it's called isotonic absorption. And it just means that the body doesn't have to waste any time pumping water into it or sort of, processing it for it to take it in. And because of that, we're able to get a very high speed of absorption along with just a general large absorption rate. So it's approximately about 95% bioavailability. And so by doing that, we're able to deliver what we would consider therapeutic doses of various ingredients in the product so that they get taken up straight away, they have an immediate impact, the body responds quickly, and we're able to deliver these physiological mechanisms to you. And in particular with collagen, that matters a great deal, because collagen at the end of the day is just protein, and your body digests protein all the time. And there's a bit of a myth around boiling bone broth in your kitchen.
Yeah.
Like that's going to somehow give you an anti-aging effect. And while it is certainly very nutritious, it's not the same thing at all as taking Skinade.
Because lots of people do say that to me about, they go to the butchers and get the bones, and I mean, I can ask to do to do all that, but that they do that, and then I do think, I'm not sure what to say back to them, because although I know this is a superior product, Skinade is much better for you. So what would I say to somebody that said, actually, Kate, I'm be boiling some bones in my kitchen, that keeps me young, which obviously it isn't.
Yeah. So the fact is, we have a very unique amino profile contained in this collagen peptide.
Yeah.
And it's that amino profile that is almost like a fingerprint or a key that is very good at tricking your body into believing that it comes from itself. So it's like a signal that we're delivering to you. And this signal is what activates the wound healing response that is responsible for generating collagen. So to give you a simple example, when people come in to clinic and they have, let's say, something like a microneedling treatment done, what they're doing is getting a very controlled amount of damage done to them, from which the body will pick up fragments of collagen, and it will respond by then healing itself and producing collagen. And the collagen peptide within Skinade essentially fulfills that same function. It's like a messenger that tells the body, okay, there's an injury, needs to produce collagen. And you just can't get that from boiling collagen in your kitchen, because you're not creating that specific signal. It's just whatever happens to be there at the time. Because, you can't just sort of eat a lot of, in our case, we use marine collagen. You can't just eat a lot of fish and get the same response. The collagen that we use is extracted from the skin of the fish.
Yeah.
It gets processed through a procedure called enzymatic hydrolyzation. It basically just means you end up with very, very small fragments of collagen called collagen peptides. And it's only when they are that small and when they've been separated and refined that you get the particular peptide that is able to trigger this response. So it's just not possible to do this through diet alone. It has to be a very specialized peptide.
So I wouldn't be able to create this in my kitchen if I went fishing. And I mean, I think we all know I'm not going to be doing that anyway.
But
you just wouldn't be able to do it.
Also, Kate, I think someone who is going to go to those lengths is actually aware of what they're putting into their body. So they probably are doing other things that are supporting their lifestyle. They are supporting their body. But it's a faff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love chicken stock to make a nice soup with.
I'm starting to feel hungry now.
Well, it is very good for you. There's no doubt about it. It's just we have to distinguish a little bit between the sort of nutritional benefits of certain things versus actual physiological responses that are very specific. Because we don't consider Skinade to be a supplement in the traditional sense. We actually try not to use the word too much because we prefer calling it a skincare drink.
Yeah.
Because we want people to kind of separate in their minds that this is not just a multivitamin that they can pick up off the shelf at the supermarket. This is something that's been specifically designed to trigger certain effects in your skin. And we don't follow any kind of dosing guidelines that you would sort of see in a sort of typical recommended intake.
Yeah.
All that stuff has got nothing to do with what we're doing with Skinade.
Okay. I think you've answered it really, but what key ingredients make Skinade unique?
Yeah, no, that is a good question, particularly because people are very aware of collagen in general, but they don't necessarily know what to look for. So within Skinade, we have 6 active ingredients.
Yeah.
The collagen peptide is the one that gets the most attention, but it's just 1/6 of the product.
Okay.
So we've also got vitamin C, we've got a full vitamin B complex, we have an organic sulfur called methyl sulfonyl methane.
Don't ask me to repeat that.
MSM. We've also got omega-3 and 6 from flaxseed oil. And lastly, we have L-lysine, which is an essential amino acid. And it's the full formula put together in a liquid solution that is able to deliver those results. Because you can't get that just through taking the collagen peptide by itself. You need the full thing.
Okay. So how does Skinade differ from traditional collagen supplements or topical skincare products? Again, I think I'm getting all this. I understand it, but let's just reiterate to our listeners.
Yeah. So there are many angles that I could answer this from. When I train professionals and tell them about how to talk about the product, it's a 2-hour process, so I'm not going to give you everything. But fundamentally, it's the fact that it's all completely in solution. So you drink it, it's absorbed very, very quickly.
Yeah.
We use the lowest molecular weight of collagen peptide on the market. So that's 2 kilodaltons to be specific. And very often that's a difficult metric to find when you're comparing products. So always keep an eye out for that. We have a lot of clinical information that supports it, both from a research point of view and looking at the product in the real world in terms of what it does. And the fact that it tastes great actually is a unique selling point because it's quite difficult to do that. You often find with these things it can be a little bit challenging to take these things in the long term because the flavor can be an issue. But with 98% of people, they really do like the taste of Skinade.
Yeah, because I've had that before when I've talked to people about it. They've tried other things on the market which aren't as good, and they've gone, "Oh, but the taste."
Yeah.
And
I've heard that a lot.
And I think for me, if I knew it was going to be good for me, I can tolerate pretty much any taste if I think it's going to give me better skin, hair, nails. But I do understand there are people out there that probably it would put them off. Mm. And then they'd buy it and then maybe not drink it. So that is great that it tastes. I love the taste of it.
I love the taste of it.
In fact, I'm going to take another.
On that note,
take another go. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
But the fact that it is absorbed so quickly into the body means you are getting the results. Because there's part of me that thinks that when you've got these capsules and gloopy things in your stomach, and as you said, things that aren't in solution, well, even if you've mixed it up and you've drunk it, well, it's going to go back into sort of gloggy bits at the bottom of your stomach. Yeah. And then you've got the acids in the stomach that are breaking it all down. So you want to drink it, get it absorbed, so you've got maximum in there.
That's a very good point. I just wanted to add that if you were to try and convert 1 bottle of Skinade into an equivalent tablet dose that would deliver the same effect, you'd be taking 20 pills per day. And nobody is ever going to do that. So
I've not heard that.
Rattling away, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
What types of skin concerns can Skinade help with, as well as obviously we're looking at the anti-aging, we're looking at boosting collagen. Is there other things it can help with?
Yeah. It's sometimes a little bit too good to be true in a certain sense. So I usually just stick to anti-aging. But we have had lots of people over the years suffering from things like eczema and psoriasis show remarkable improvements. And we're not claiming to treat or cure these things. It's just for some people, it provides the missing part of their routine or just something their body can use to help repair itself. We also get people very often commenting on their joints, that they feel like they're less sore, less inflamed. Hair and nails, as we've said already, they tend to respond very well. I was even talking to a lady a few months ago who, this was her personal experience, not something we claim, but she said that her osteoarthritis had improved a great deal. And I think it's just the fact that Skinade has got a lot of natural anti-inflammatories in there, so it can help ease some of that discomfort. And collagen, as we've already mentioned, is found in lots of different places, so it can help lots of other tissues as well. But primarily it is the skin that we focus on.
So it is, again, a win-win.
It's a win-win. I mean, I've had quite a few of my patients saying that their irritable bowel has been sorted from taking it.
Wow.
Which is, and there's a lot of people who suffer from that. So, yeah.
And I'm guessing there's loads of clinical studies that Skinade have done around this.
Yeah, we have a range of material to draw on. So collagen peptides in general have been fairly well studied at this point, going back at least 20, 25 years or more on this. So there's all of that material we can draw on. We've also had independent studies run on Skinade, the final product. One in particular was done in Santi Labs in London, and it's a very interesting study because it shows an ultrasound cross-sectional scan of the dermis. So you can quite literally see your skin lit up with lots of white and yellow healthy collagen that's been formed over a period of 30 and 90 days. So you can see the progress as it goes on. And then they also have that same area of skin examined through a photomicroscopy. So you can see very close up how much the texture, hydration, smoothness of the skin has improved, a reduction in fine lines. So that's a very nice one to look at. There was another survey that was conducted over a period of 100 days where they had, I think, roughly about 300 people, and they were following up with them every 10 days or so. And one of the questions in that study was, do you think your skin is better? And by the end of that study, 100% of the people there said their skin was better, which is why the brand promise is better skin from within.
Yeah.
So there's been a fair amount, and we've been published in lots of different clinical journals and articles. Whenever people come to visit us at trade shows, there's a stack of paper that we give them to take away, and it does reassure them that there is a lot of evidence behind it, and we're still doing things now. So we've got some things in the pipeline that I can't really talk about too much, but. We are always looking.
Can we be first in line?
Yeah, no, of course. You're always first. Yeah.
Skinade always. I don't think there's anything else on the market, and that's not me being biased because we stock it at Radiance Aesthetic Clinic. I really don't think there's anything that beats it in taste, in quality, in the packaging. I think everything about it. But there are other products out there.
Yeah.
So how do you keep Skinade relevant? Has there been any change to the formulation?
Yeah, the only changes we've ever made have actually been to improve the product. So we've never made a change that would degrade it or just do it to save money or anything like that. At one point, I think in 2018, we swapped out folic acid for folate because there was a very small percentage of people that didn't have the enzyme to process that correctly.
Okay.
And so by making it into folate, it was a little bit better. And we also swapped to the methylated versions of the B complex because that was also superior. I think the main thing that really sets us apart is that we are always product quality first.
Yeah.
We've never made a change that's been about cutting costs. It's always about making the product to the best level that we can. And one of the things that happened during the sort of lockdown period was we invested very heavily in the factory to produce Skinade. Okay. So we brought everything under one roof in the UK, and we also set up a factory in our US headquarters as well. So everything that we produce is made in-house by our own employees, with ingredients that we've ordered ourselves. And we've done all kinds of checks and processes to make sure that the product is very clean, sanitized, that it lasts a long time. And really, that's actually one of the things that you can't get from just looking at the back of a packet.
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand all of the work that's gone into it. But that is why we are in the professional channel, because that's how we communicate to people about how good Skinade is, because we rely on professionals.
And there's no gimmicks with it. I think there's so many products out there that they rely on celebrities, they rely on all these gimmicks, but something about Skinade that I think is just, it's backed by science.
Yeah.
And it is the best. I was in Boots recently and I could see somebody buying something on the shelf that was a product that claims to be the same.
Yeah.
And I walked past and I thought, don't say anything, don't say anything. She's not asking for your advice. Don't. And then I walked back and I said, can I just ask you something? What are you buying this for? Have you used it before? Have you thought about... Anyway, she then came into the clinic and bought Skinade.
Did she?
Yeah, and said, thanks.
Good girl.
But I did think, some people...
You're banned from Boots now,
yeah.
Yeah, they won't let me back in. Oh, wow. Yeah, but I did feel bad for sort of stopping to start off with, but then it was well received. I'm sure lots of people would do that, but people just don't. If they don't know, they're only seeing what's in front of them.
Yeah.
But it really is the best, to say the least. Have you been to the factory?
It's literally underneath my desk.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is it? Because I really want to
we
go.
need to try. I was just exactly.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come. We do tours.
Yeah, I would love to come for a tour.
It's. I'm afraid it's industry only, so the public can't come along.
Sorry, guys, you can't come, but we can.
We can.
You guys can, yeah. And we can put you to work and get you on the line.
Oh, I'm not wearing one of those funny hats.
What would we have to wear?
Well, yeah, it's serious.
What we have to wear.
You have to do a sanitary hand wash, just like you would do before surgery and stuff.
We're very capable of doing that.
I mean, wash my own hands.
It's very similar actually, because
I really would love to go.
I'd love to have you there. Yeah.
What are you doing tonight?
The only thing is you'd have to come up the night before. Obviously, we'd go out and have dinner and everything. Just because they start.
Well, we go for dinner now.
That's how we do it. But they start early because.
How early?
Well, we would have to. I mean, it's not crazy, but we would have to be there about 8 a.m. just to see them actually preparing it.
Wow, we can do that, Kate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fascinating process.
You stay up all night.
Skinade wakes in the morning.
But there's factory clean rooms where you have to make sure that you're properly sanitized, because if you're not, obviously that could contaminate the product. Yeah. And then you wear a sort of disposable outer sort of lab coat thing. You got, I'm afraid, a hairnet.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I went to the Profilo. Which country was that? I can't remember which country.
Is that in Geneva or Italy? It
was Italy. It was Italy. That was fascinating to see that being made.
How many people work at the factory?
It's about, it can run on a minimum of 3 people. Usually it's about 4 or so.
Oh, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So it is a small... I love the fact that it's produced here.
Yeah.
Rather than... Yeah, a lot of these companies, God knows where they're produced.
Yeah, well, we're actually produced in probably the least likely area that you'd expect it to, because it's in the office is based in Richmond, which is like one of the nicest parts of London to be in.
Yeah,
and that's great. I'm not complaining, but I think my boss basically just wants the shortest commute possible, which is fine by me. So it's all made under the one roof. We've got the warehouse there as well. We've got the office. So everyone is involved in all parts of the business, which is great because it means that I know pretty much everything that goes on. I can answer any questions. Really.
Yeah, that is really good. Why have we not been there before?
I don't know. We know Richmond. We do go to Richmond.
Yeah, I love Richmond.
Please do. Yeah.
Right. This. I've got to get planning.
But one of the things I just want to add in that there's so many people will put, and I have a look at other websites for other products, because obviously I'm always looking at things, and if people come and try and sell me other things, I will have a look. And they go science-based, and you go through the whole of the website, and there isn't any science-based. It's someone saying like 9 out of 10 cat lovers said that their cat's whiskers felt wrinkle-free and smooth after a week. It's got to be science-based.
So that leads on to this question. So how can consumers spot misleading marketing claims about collagen? So like the lady that I stopped in the high street pharmacy, how can they spot things that are misleading? If that people are listening to this, they're sat at home and they've got their collagen supplements, they're thinking, well, is this any good or not? What's the key things you could look for?
Yeah, so from our point of view, the things that really make Skinade different are the things that matter most, and sometimes they're the things that are the most expensive to actually do.
Yeah.
So the fact that and I don't know really whether you could find this out as a consumer, but we source every ingredient either from the UK or from within Europe. So they're all produced to very high quality standards. The collagen peptide itself comes from a source in France. So it's all done to a very strong level of rigor.
And we should be looking, where our supplements come from, because there's a huge movement, especially within fashion, where we're all seeing, where are your clothes made? Where have these materials come from? And we're talking about these high street stores that are selling clothes and they're outsourcing it to these factories where they've got children working and making things. Actually, and we're thinking about where's our food come from, but have we actually started to think about where are our supplements coming from? And it's all relevant, isn't it?
And also it's then going back to the fish that you're using have to be fed properly. You know, there was a mad conversation I think we were having at the weekend, wasn't it, about seagulls saying,
what do seagulls eat?
Yeah, what does seagulls, we were saying, that would be a good food source of eating seagulls potentially.
So we were saying,
that's right.
You can eat seagulls that came from an area where they were fed well,
like Budley Beach, where I live.
So Budley Beach,
where
they'd be eating great food. Where I live on good old Sidwell Street, they're living off KFC bones and cigarette butts.
So again, it's not just what the ingredients are; it's what the fish are being fed before they are.
What are the fish fed? Do you know?
I haven't asked that particular question. I can always find out.
Interesting.
That's what I'm going to ask when I come to the factory. So don't ask them. Let me ask when I come to the factory.
They are freshwater farmed fish, which is different from ocean water fish because you don't have this, the contaminants of potentially mercury or goodness knows microplastics and all that stuff. And the other things to come back to your original question, what to look for when I'm explaining collagen to people, and the first thing that I would always look at is what is the molecular weight.
Okay.
So what is the size of the peptide being used? And essentially the smaller, the better. And so we have the lowest
Only
molecular...
in this instance, smaller the better.
Yeah. So we have the lowest molecular weight on the market, 2 kilodaltons in size. And that also plays a part in the taste because you can't taste it, essentially.
Okay.
Then I would look at where it comes from. So as we've said, freshwater fish. What type is it that you're getting? Because there are lots of different types of collagen. And if anti-aging is your main focus, then you want type 1 because that's the type that you find most often in the skin. That's what we use in Skinade. And then lastly, it's the dose, frankly, because as we've already said, absorption is critical. And if you look on anywhere online, you will see that there are products advertising higher and higher levels of collagen peptide. And far be it from me to say whether they're good or not, but I suspect it's because they realize that maybe absorption is a challenge. So they're offering higher and higher doses. Whereas we have stuck with 7,000 milligrams from the beginning, and we've not changed that. We don't feel the need to change it.
Yeah.
And actually the results that we get from Skinade as a full product are better than the results that you would see from just the peptide by itself, even at a higher dose than what you find in the product. So it's the full set of ingredients that matters. And I actually think you could probably get away with even less. So one of the things that I say to people as well is, let's say, for example, they're on a budget, they can't necessarily commit to doing this all the time. Do a sort of set amount of Skinade, maybe 90 days to get your skin to a kind of plateau point.
Yeah.
And from there, you could look at maybe doing it every other day. And while it's not going to be as good, it's still going to be a lot better than stopping completely.
Yeah. Or using another brand.
Or using that, for example. And we know from the research, actually, that the collagen peptide in the product stays in your skin for at least 2 weeks after even one dose. So there is a prolonged effect. Yeah. And that's why it doesn't really matter that much what particular dose you're getting, because it's a cumulative effect. It's day by day, so you're always adding more. So I wouldn't worry about how much is in the product.
Okay. So going back to something you said about, so you would recommend drinking a bottle of Skinade a day. For those of you who aren't watching this, the bottles aren't ginormous. they're a lovely
How many
little
mils
size.
Is it? 150?
It's 150, yeah.
So you'd have one of these a day, ideally. But if budget was an issue, you could have one of these a day for 90 days, did you say?
Yeah.
And then go to every other day to maintain those results.
Yeah.
And it also comes in a travel sachet.
Yeah.
Tell us about those.
So the travel sachets came out, I think, about 2 years after we released the bottle. And it's just purely people were saying they want to go away, they want to go on holiday, they don't want to travel with 10 kilos worth of Skinade bottles. And so the sachet is a 15 ml concentrate, which is exactly the same as the bottle in terms of ingredients and functionality. You just need to add enough water to dilute it to the same as what you have in the bottle. So about half a glass is fine, or even more if you like. You can dilute it further.
Okay. So obviously they're great for people who are traveling and don't want to take all the bottles in your suitcase. What do you do when you travel, Ros? Do you take Skinade still?
I take the sachets.
You take the sachets?
Yeah.
Do you ever have a day when you don't take it?
Yeah. Sometimes I don't, but I definitely take it at least 4 days a week.
Yeah, to maintain
definitely,
those
definitely.
results.
I wouldn't be without it. But again, there's that side of me that, because I'm saying to a lot of people, have it 90 days and then every other day. I don't think there's any harm in, trying it with me, and I haven't noticed a difference. But if I stop it, oh my God, within about 6 weeks, I absolutely see the difference in my skin.
And what do clients report back to you that have used it? Do they tell you that they can see a difference?
They love it. Absolutely love it. And again, when we're doing, like you were saying about doing the microneedling, when we're doing other treatments that, I say to people, start it about a month before you start doing your treatments. And then it's going to, help with the results. And people love it, but people love it on its own.
Yeah. We have a lot of people who, when they use it with their treatments, do feel that it's maximizing what they're getting out of it. Because Skinade is working in very similar ways in terms of stimulating collagen to a lot of clinical treatments, but it also provides essentially the raw material that your body would use to create collagen. So if you want to get the most bang for your buck when you're in the clinic, you're getting a lot of things done.
Look after your investment that you've spent on your injectables or your facial, your laser treatment. This is really going to help with those results and look after your investment.
And again, with it, when you have a treatment, that is sending the signals, as you said, to the body, to the skin to repair itself. This is like a gentle reminder every day. Come on, remember what you've got to do. You've got to repair. So it's a great investment.
So with Skinade, you can come into Radiance Aesthetic Clinic and buy it. People who come in and buy it love coming in, chatting to us and telling us about the results. And some of those clients have been coming in since we stocked it and have always stuck with it. And honestly, I wish I could show you guys, listeners, to their skin and the difference that it makes. It is such an amazing product. I have tried one other collagen product, and that is one that's got alcohol in it. So it's gin.
What?
So it's gin with collagen.
No, Kate, that's the you gave me a bottle of collagen, didn't you?
Because you can drink the gin with it. But it didn't do anything apart from get me drunk.
Kate, there wasn't any collagen in it, or was it?
Because I don't think the alcohol could sustain it.
It's not going to necessarily improve the formula.
No, so I think it was a gimmick. It was a gimmicky thing. But I did think to myself, oh look, you can get drunk on the gin, and it's So no, it didn't do anything for me. And I just think it's an absolute waste of time trying to use any other collagen product that's out there other than Skinade. I think people would be bonkers to even consider going to one of those high street health food stores, and even looking at the packaging is a waste of your time. Skinade is where it is at. Come into Radiance, meet us. If you're already a client, you can try a little sample of it and see what you think. Before we finish up today, anything else that you would like to add, you think we haven't covered, that you would like to say? Daniel?
Well, I suppose the only thing I should add is that we do have other products as well. It's not just all about Skinade. We have a product for acne called Clear, or breakout-prone skin, which just generally helps to eliminate some of the sort of causes behind it.
Yeah.
And then we also have a product for cellulite. We have a product for very dry, flaky skin called Derma Defense, which has got a lot of vitamin A and D in it. And a lot of people have tried that with our Christmas sets. We include it there too. And then we have 2 products that you use alongside medical procedures. So there's one for in-clinic use called In Support, which is really great to help reduce bruising, swelling, soreness, as well as providing some of the benefits that Skinade does. And then there's a sort of bigger, more grown-up version of that called the pre- and post-care program, which is for surgery. Because fundamentally, the wound mechanism that we trigger with Skinade obviously is used to create collagen for anti-aging purposes, but it works for wounds. So if you are considering having a procedure of some kind, whether it's an aesthetic procedure or if it's health related, either way, it's a nice thing to help reduce the level of trauma during that journey. And then, of course, you can carry on with regular Skinade afterwards.
So would you take Skinade alongside those, or that replaces Skinade for that set amount of time?
You could take Skinade with any of them, and it would be fine. In some cases, it would be a bit of overkill. So really, only Derma Defense is the one that I would say, in the long run, both of them together is the ideal way to go. But with the others, you could just use them during that time by themselves, or you could use them with Skinade if you've got the budget for it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I think all I would say is, if you're thinking about doing treatments or thinking about looking after your skin, is come into the clinic and have a chat with us. You can have a Visio scan. You can find out what we're all about, and just make sure you get the right advice. Because we will give advice, and we always say, you can do none of it, all of it, anything in the middle. We don't mind. We just want to be, you to be happy and you get confidence and get the results. But come and get the advice. Come and get the advice. Don't go, from what's out there and what you're being bombarded with.
Yeah, and listen to experts is something that I'm really into. So listening to Dr. Roz, listening to Daniel about what you should be using, not influencers that aren't even tasting the products, that aren't using the products. I see often on Instagram and TikTok, there's various influencers on there who are talking about collagen supplements, but they're not even taking them themselves. So don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about in the nicest way possible. You want to be talking about people who actually do use the product, people who visit the factory, people who understand this product and what it's doing for you. And, the results speak for themselves with Skinade. Right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed drinking my Skinade and talking to you both.
And we're looking forward to a factory visit.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm literally going to get my diary out in a minute to see. It was the meal beforehand as well. Then we're just going to stay up all night. Because also, actually, going back to the staying up all night and drinking, and I think Skinade is great for when you've got a hangover. Has it been proven for that or not?
In as much as the number of people who've used it for that purpose.
Should we do a clinical study?
No, Kate, we are not. Our budget, our bank balance does not go to you.
But yeah, it does make you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does make you feel better. And in the morning, if I feel a little bit groggy, not necessarily because I've had a glass of wine, but if I can just feel I haven't had a great night's sleep, Skinade definitely does put me on my A game, and makes me feel good as well as look good, if I say so myself.
You look good, Kate. You look good, Kate.
You look radiant.
Thank you very much. And thank you, listeners, for listening again to us. We will be back again soon. Thank you.